Alchemical Wizard 12, Spiritual Psychology. Purging and clearing social conditioning / cultural transference and belief systems. Let's talk about social conditioning / cultural transference and our belief systems and how it trains us to have certain beliefs, behaviors, desires, and emotional reactions. So in childhood it starts with the handed down surface knowledge from our parents, teachers, churches, books, all forms of media with ads, etc. and who paid for it. This is when critical and free thinking become hindered. As an example, let's just look at refined sugar. I mean, we could go down the rabbit hole of the many rewrites of the Christian Bible, like after the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, 274 AD 337 AD, and the Arian Party. Or after the ransack of Alexandria, Egypt's library that is hidden in the basement of the Vatican. But for now let's just use refined sugar as our example. Refined sugar comes from sugar cane or sugar beets, which are processed to extract the sugar. It is typically found as sucrose, which is the combination of glucose and fructose. We use white and brown sugars to sweeten cakes and cookies, coffee, cereal, and even fruit. Food manufacturers add chemically produced sugar, typically high fructose corn syrup, to foods and beverages, including crackers, flavored yogurt, tomato sauce, salad dressing, soda and energy drinks. Low-fat foods are the worst, as manufacturers use sugar to add flavor. Cane sugar or sugar beets get high pressurized cooked until there is no minerals or vitamins left. Just refined starch and carbohydrates, which becomes pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid accumulates in the brain and nervous system and abnormal sugars in the red blood cells. These toxic metabolites interfere with the respiration of the cells. They cannot get sufficient oxygen to survive and function normally. In time, some of the cells die. This interferes with a major function in the biological body and is the beginning of degenerative disease. So everyday eating of this refined sugar causes acidity, which in turn the biological body has to take minerals such as calcium from your bones and teeth. Now think about eating that candy, ice cream, jelly, imitation pancake syrup as a kid. Oh, I did it. Okay. So not until I grew up and did my own research and had to dig deeper and actively changed my diet did my perception of Willy Wonka, the Nestle family, Coca-Cola dynasty, the Mars family, etc., change. Another cultural transference shattered. Along with so many others that I had been taught to believe. Now not every transference is dark and evil. Although in the refined sugar case it is profitable and can lead to a dark agenda. And it may not have even started out that way. But corruption and service to self has had its addictive desires, qualities, and behaviors, which become agreements of entrapment through our own belief systems. Not until I actually sat on a mountain meditating and water fasted in 1989 did I really begin purging and clearing some of the social conditioning and beliefs that had been handed down. Now don't get me wrong here, I still love a good raw dark chocolate bar or some local honey. I just want to know where it came from. But through that one spiritual practice, the meditation and water fasting, I could see more clearly. That is one instance of a lifelong unraveling of truth, just by going within oneself. That becomes the beginning point or even the 0 point of clearing and purging our own social conditioning. Take into context an entire planet for consideration. We have all been slaves in one form or another, and even worse, pitted against each other. We know a few bloodline families own this world and rule with a negative agenda. Deeper still, are the Anunnaki hybrids or the malevolent ET races that started this service to self-addiction. We are in that linear timeline when we all should stand up and shout out. We are sovereign, we are free. The old dark paradigm is fading and now we understand a way to be with more light. Shine. We are shifting gears. We are in an ascension process which is part of a larger ascension cycle. Okay. Consider this. This is a free will universe, so how do you go about doing, let's say, Luciferian acts or service to self, crazy corruptible things? How do you tell people what you are doing right out in the open? You own Hollywood and all the media core. So you can make movies and television shows about exactly what you are doing. Then we the people, most people with some compassion sparks left in their hearts, make a decision, most of the time without discernment, me as well for many years, whether or not we agree with it. That becomes the entrapment contract, subconsciously. We usually shrug it off because we were told, cultural transference, it was just fiction, although we knew there was someone always profiting from such acts. Deep State, Illuminati, Rothschilds/Pesoers, global Satanist cabals, etc., and further back to the Anunnaki hybrids and even further, go down that rabbit hole. The linear time of service to self is over. It cannot sustain itself any longer because we have already been down that dark road before. Light is pushing the darkness to the surface and the cleanup has begun. So how do we purge and clear these embedded emotional attachments from handed-down belief systems? 1. Well, we start by going within. Meditation is the spiritual tool that can unlock all mysteries. Especially in this now timeline. We can start to anchor in higher frequencies. 2. We can consciously state out loud that we are free and sovereign beings. 3. We can take charge of our health by doing our own research. Putting together a trusted team. Then our biological body and our endocrine and brain system can then start to use its critical thinking, logic, and discernment. 4. Flexibility and non-judgment from a place of sacred neutrality. When you realize everything is conscious creation. 5. When the emotions boil up inside of you, you can journal, exercise, paint, constructive therapy, sleep and let the unconscious mind help heal and bring it to the surface. 6. Sit in silence and realize you are your own savior. Which becomes self-empowerment. I am no longer the victim or the victimizer. 7. Get outside in nature, away from TV and ads and mainstream news, and create your own headlines. Like, man, it's so beautiful out here today, campers. Or this is going to be a great day today. I am going to breathe from my diaphragm as much as possible today. Which will oxygenate my cells and give me better cognitive thinking skills. 8. Use radical forgiveness. Not only to forgive others but also to forgive ourselves. Holding on to resentment and anger can manifest itself in the biological body as well as deconstructive emotions. Blessings everyone. And please stay hydrated, my friends. Travis Carper. September 29, 2018. Blog on 3decrees.org.